Hello, everyone. Thank you to be here with us to listen about API governance at L'Oréal. A short introduction of the agenda of today. We will present our team and API and data strategy at L'Oréal. We will talk about API governance, how we are doing enablement at L'Oréal, and how we are measuring our enablement. About the context at L'Oréal. So in 2020, L'Oréal adopted API first strategy. In order to support this strategy, the Center of Enablement API was created, led by Julien Brun. A little bit later, the Center of Enablement API was renamed Center of Enablement API and EDA. So our team is organized into streams. We have a technical stream and a business stream. In the technical stream, we have technical experts, EDA expert and API expert that are working very closely with the vendors. They are following the roadmap with them, and they are ensuring that we have the right features that are needed for L'Oréal. On the API, we are using APG platform, and for the EDA, we are using Kafka Confluent platform. On the business stream here with Marina, we will present you, and our aim on the team is to work very closely with the API product owners to provide them the right support to enable them on the API journey, to work around the processes, and to provide them the right tools in order to be easier for them to design the APIs, to publish them, and to follow the API life cycle. About API and data strategy. In 2020, when the API first strategy was adopted, also data strategy was adopted also. And here the API and data started to build and to work together and to be fully aligned. So in the data side, the L'Oréal structured the data in 18 domains. And here the APIs are fully aligned with the data, because the APIs are also structured in and aligned with the 18 domains. So each data domains has and own his APIs. So if we have the product domain, we'll have also all the APIs that are belong to product domains. APIs, they have in the naming convention of the APIs, we will find the data domain for which belongs. Before to have in place this strategy, we at L'Oréal, we collected a lot of data, from different sources for different reasons, for different aids, but it was very difficult to be used by the each product, by the each project. Sorry. Because the data was not having a clear ownership, and also the quality of the data was not what was expected by the project. Also, the data was stored in the different systems without to have naming standardization. So we could find a type of data with the same business meaning, but with the different naming on the different systems. So at L'Oréal in 2020, when the API first and data strategy was put it in place, the first things that was needed is to have a strong ownership around the data and the APIs. So we have the ownership that for each domain we have a data product owner that ensure the ownership of the data. Also, they ensure the standardization of the data. So here we have a data catalog or all the business attributes. They have the same naming and the same description in all the systems. A business value, a business attribute will have the same naming everywhere. In this way, was possible to control the data quality, and the API here are coming to give accessibility to the data and also to put in place a security level. In this way, we'll be aware who is consuming which type of data for which reason. So, in order to ensure this as a technical platform, we are using Google Cloud Data Platform for the data, and as I said a little bit later, APG for APIs. On the data is structured on the three layers. We have the raw data that are coming directly from the systems on the data platform. Here the data, we have a second layer where the data is structured by domain, and here we apply the standardization. So here we'll find the data with a clear naming convention. And we have a third layer where the project can combine the data from the different domains. Here with a consumption layer. So here we will find the data ready for the project. Because, as I said, the APIs are fully aligned with the data. At L'Oréal, we have also three types of APIs. We have the system APIs, are the APIs exposed directly by the application. And here we'll have the APIs exposed directly by the SAP or the Salesforce. As we are working with a lot of SaaS application, we expose directly the APIs provided by the application themselves, without to do any modification and any customization for L'Oréal. We have a second type of APIs, the business APIs. Here, the APIs are fully modelized and we are doing the model, the design that has and bring a business value for L'Oréal. And here we can have the APIs as product 360, consumer 360. These business APIs are relying on the system APIs. And as I said, for the data, we have a third layer of the API, consumer APIs. And here the application can do a bundle of different type of APIs or can do an subtraction of the APIs. And the application will consume exactly the scope of the APIs that is needed for them. Here, the consumer APIs are relying on the business APIs and system APIs. So we have the three types of APIs, and each APIs has his own governance. For the system APIs, the application owner is also the API product owner. So I'm the guy who knows the best the application. So I know exactly which type of API my application will expose. So also I am an application owner, but also I am the API product owner for my system APIs. For the business APIs, as I said, we have the data product owner, which is in charge with the data, and also is the API product owner because it's the person that knows the best the value of the data and know the best the meaning and the value, the business value of the data. And for the consumer APIs, the use case product owner, it's also the API product owner because he understands the best which type of data needs to be consumed by his project. So here you can see we have different type of ownership for our API. So we try that the ownership to be closer by the application or by the data. and to control the best the accessibility and the value of the data. Because the next step we are working closer and with the API community, API product owner community, in order to enforce the practices, the best practices that we are putting in place in order to bring new features for the enablement. But if we are talking about enablement, I will let Marina to explain how we are doing at L'Oréal the enablement. Hello, Marina.
Hello, Jena. Thank you.
Onboard our API product owner and future consumer, they first need to be upskilled in the topic. So our team proposed two different training. The first one more for business people, where we introduce the API, what is an API, the API lifecycle, and the governance, especially their role as API owner. And a second training for people who already have a knowledge and skills on API and they want to go deeper in the API management with the best practices. So we propose this training monthly, and IT and business people can register to this training. And during this training, we also present our different tools, such as the API portal. So this portal was built with Pronovix using Drupal and is accessible from all L'Oréal employees, where they can consult the API catalog. As we have different profile for different interests that consult the portal, we use also this intern portal to share documentation with our getting started, where they can find any information about the strategy, the best practices, and the governance and processes, where we take some time to build a step-by-step tutorial to help them to go through the different steps. For example, a data project owner from finance has a use case and wants to build a business API. So first step would be to design an API. And within each process, we want to make it as simple as possible. So for the design part, we use Gravity API Designer tool, which provide a really good user-friendly interface in a graphical way to hide the technical complexity. So a business or even IT use this tool to build the structure and then export it automatically generate an open API specification. So with this specification, the API owner is able to publish it in the APG platform and in the API portal using our service requests. We work here with ServiceNow team to build different forms that are fully automatized to help them to manage in a more simpler way their APIs. So here they just have to fill in the form and upload the Swagger, and the form will automatically trigger actions to publish it in APG and in the portal. Imagine now a few months after, you want to know as an API owner what are the feedback. So the consumers feel about the API. So we build a feature on the portal to give a note. So ratings, any consumer can give a comment, and the API owners are able to find the list of these comments in this page. As we are in a continuous improvement process, it's a way to identify where and how they can improve the API for the coming versions. How actually an API looks like in the portal. So we have two types of documentation. The first one is more technical one coming from the OpenAPI specification. And the second one is the functional documentation. We build a template to help them to build this documentation. This documentation is helpful to understand for any future consumer to understand why the API is used for, and if this API could cover my use case or not, so I can consume it. So it's a more business-oriented documentation that we push API owners to build it. Also, as mentioned by Liliana, we are COE API and EDA, event and API. So we want also this portal to include this part, and we are building a product catalog. A product would be a combination of Open API and Async API, and the user will be able to register to this product. Also, as I think you saw, we work in different features to deliver the right tools to help them, but it also, as a COE, important to take time to build documentation, to build communication, and to share it with your community to have visibility on what have been done. And so in that way, we have two types of communication. The first one, these are comics to explain in another way the different steps to follow in the process. So here is how, as a IT owner and also API owner, what I have to do to publish my API. And the other communication is our newsletter, where we highlight the roadmap and the new features in the API marketplace and the API portal, and also links to the portal, and highlight also new APIs coming from the business. Also, another role in the API owner scope is how to follow up your API performance and consumption. So in that way, our team built different dashboard for different personas. So this is a sample of the dashboard for API product owner. So in the first screenshot, you can follow up the performance of your API. In the second one, the quality review based on 4 axes: compliancy, security, maintainability, and sustainability. We can also follow up the API usage with the number of calls, and also the consumers by identifying which app is using your API. And another KPI that we want to improve is in the business API part regarding the functional documentation. I think you also face this problem. We have a lot of APIs, but without a good documentation, it's difficult to activate and make this API reusable. So we will launch a challenge soon with our API product owner community with prizes to motivate them to complete this functional documentation and improve these KPIs. So this is only a part of what I've been done in the team, and we continue to work and to improve the tools and the enablement around the API. And we strongly believe that the collaboration with business and IT regarding APIs. Thank you for your attention.